And it's showtime. Hello, everybody. My name's Kyle from Poseidon's Pets. Welcome to my live stream. Hope everybody is having a good day today. I am talking to nobody because we have 0 viewers in the house, but that is okay because this is recorded and will be played back later. Yeah. So now we just wait. We wait for people to come in, people to talk to, because live streaming's fun and I can sit here and talk to myself. I can, but I need people to talk to as well. Yeah. Gotta have somebody asking me questions, interacting, fun times. Dobo said he set a reminder for the stream, which is nice. It's always a good idea. I need to get better about advertising earlier instead of like right before I stream, so that way everybody has a chance to get on. And I'm not really liking this noon time frame for live streaming. I feel like 10 o'clock was a lot better as far as 10 a.m. Because it's been a minute into the stream now and nobody's even here, which is weird. Usually I've got 3 or 4 people already ready to go, talking, all that good stuff. So yeah, once we get some people in here, I'm going to go ahead and drop some food in. We'll be able to see the shrimp eaten, all that good stuff. I know YouTube was doing some weird things this morning, so hopefully everything's going okay. We're not having any problems there. All right. So who do we got in here? Who's watching right now? Hope everyone had a good morning. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hey, Dobo, how are you? How's everything going? I'm so glad you're here. I was talking to myself for 3 minutes. Yeah, I was trying something new by streaming at noon instead of 10 a.m. And I feel like noon is not the time. Definitely not the time to start streaming. Scrub in the oven. There you go. Yeah, it's one thing about cooking at home is definitely gets built up quick. I know I clean my kitchen at least once a day. Everything builds up really fast. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to be streaming at noon anymore because last week it was okay. It wasn't too bad, but we'll see how everything goes today. Still trying to find that perfect time frame to start streaming. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? How are you? Got Chris from Palmer Aquatics in here. Mr. Chris Weber. Connection is unstable. Okay. Maybe having some internet issues today. Just let me know. It's 9 a.m. here. Yeah, so if it's 9 a.m. there, it would be 7 a.m. when I start streaming normally. How's the stream look on your guys' end? I usually don't have connection issues. I'm surprised that it's giving me that error. Oh, I accidentally clicked off the screen. Don't do that. It's choppy. Okay. YouTube was doing some weird stuff this morning. So when I was trying to share the link, it was not showing my thumbnail, which is weird. So I wonder if it's a YouTube problem because I've got one of the fastest internets in the area. I usually have a 500 gigabyte download and at least 50 upload. So usually don't have any problems with my internet. But we will power through it because I've dedicated myself to at least an hour of this. So as long as it's not completely terrible, then we'll keep going. Now, usually at this point, I've got quite a few people in here, and I give you guys the option to pick a tank. So what I'll do is I'll have you pick a tank. I'll drop some food in there, and then I'll put the camera on there so we can see those shrimp. So we'll give it a few more minutes, see if anybody else jumps in here. Stream with me tonight and ditch this monkey. If I didn't have plans, Wednesday nights are usually pretty busy for me, then I would absolutely jump in with you. I think we could have some fun. Hey, Double says cold tank. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I caught part of your and Dusty's stream the other night. That was pretty good. Talking about the red tail cats. I like how your streams, you have so many different elements going on and the different stuff that you do. It's very well planned out. It's almost like a television interview, I don't know, news broadcast, but it was cool to watch. I don't have the focus to be able to do that. My brain doesn't work that way. It was choppy, still working on it. It was pretty smooth though. Like I'm the same way. There's always room for improvement. So I'm with you. It may have looked good to other people, but there's always little things that you could tweak here and there. Yeah, we'll have to plan a time that I could jump in there. I have vacation time coming up, not next week, but the following week, the 22nd through like the 26th. So one of those days, if you want to do it, I'm free pretty much all day. I've got my dad coming into town, but we could coordinate something. So since Dobo asked so nicely, we're going to go ahead and drop some food into the cold tank. And as always, I feed Shrimp King Complete because they absolutely swarm for this stuff. Let's go ahead and throw it in the coal tank. So in this tank, this is mostly coals from my Crystal Red and Crystal Black tank. But I also have a few Neocaridina that have hitchhiked over as babies and grew up in Caridina parameters. So this is where they get to live now. So got that food in there. Gonna adjust the camera. 2 seconds. Look at that. Now, hopefully they're not little jerks and move the food out of the way, which I believe they are. But yeah, Chris, let me know when you want to stream and we'll plan something out. I'll jump on there. You could ask me anything you want. Shrimp, fish, plants. you want me to talk about a specific topic, just give me a heads up. Once the shrimp get settled, I'll move the camera because they're gonna tug of war a little bit. Stay. Don't move. Eat your food in one spot. We got people trying to watch you eat. Do you realize that? This isn't just dinner time for you. This is dinner and a show. And this tank, I've noticed that I've got quite a few of those golden bees. So you see that one that just swam past and the one sitting up there on top. I'm excited to see what kind of offspring these guys create with the crystal reds and the crystal blacks. And when you mix crystal reds and blacks, sometimes you get this weird brown color that you see here. So they're not quite black and they're not quite red. And unless you have a pure line crystal red or a pure line crystal black, you're going to get stuff like this because the crystal reds came from crystal black shrimp. So if you have crystal black shrimp that aren't a pure line, they're going to throw some red babies. So it's okay to mix those. Those are one of the only Caridina I know of different colors that you could put in the same tank. So Dobo asks, seen anything funky in the coal tank? You know, one of the golden bees kind of looks like it is a red bolt. So you can actually see it. Well, if the camera was focused. Let's see if I take the macro lens off. But yeah, that guy in the back there, you can see it's very red. Of course, they're moving the food far away from the screen. So hard to find good help these days. What kind of amateurs do I work with? This is ridiculous. So yeah, some of those Goldens, they almost look like a red bolt. And I think if I keep breeding that line and I just pick the deepest red colors, then I can get some red bolts out of this tank. Tobo says, don't forget about the Taiwan bees. I'll be honest, I'm new to Caridina shrimp, so I'm still trying to really figure out the different species and what they all come from, because we have so many different types of shrimp out there. You know, the patterns are so advanced with the boa and the fish bones and the galaxies and so I'm still trying to figure out, okay, you take this shrimp, mix it with this shrimp, and we get this. Could use lollies for streams, yeah. I was thinking about creating like a horseshoe type feeding dish. So it just sits right up against the glass and you drop that in. So that way they can't move it around. I should have done a bigger piece. Usually they're pretty good and they just keep it in one spot. Occasionally they'll get a wild hair to start moving it around everywhere. In these instances, you just got to tell them who's boss. Now we maybe get like 10 seconds of unmoved shrimp feeding in there. And you can see all the little babies they got. So these guys are happy. They're starting to breed and mix together. Hey, Robert Redmond, how are you? Now that we got some people in here, I want to give a shout out to all my members. We got Robert Redman, Jamie Anderson, Mark for Mark Shrimp Takes, my lovely wife Amber, as well as Tater Salad, Bob Moss Nano Tanks, and Hulk Logan Aquatics. So thank you guys so much for being members. I definitely appreciate all of you. And if you would like to become a member and feed my shrimp, feel free to do so. For only $2, two measly dollars a day, you can feed these hungry, starving shrimp. For pennies, for less than 2 cents a month. Or $2 a month, 2 cents a day. So how is everybody's day going so far? Anybody do anything exciting? Anything shrimp related, fish related? What are you guys up to this fine Wednesday? Dobo says he's doing good. I am doing, or not Dobo, Robert Redman. Robert says he's doing good. I'm doing good as well. Almost got my full caffeine in me, so ready to start today. Start creating content for you guys. Yeah, I've been watching the Blue Bolt tank quite a bit, and I'm gonna have to start culling that out here because there's quite a few shrimp in there that have very little blue on them. A lot of them look kind of like these golden, so that'll add some cool colors to the cull tank once I start culling those guys out. Oh, this headset makes my ear itch. Yeah, once I get a few different varieties in this tank, we should see some interesting things start to come out of this cull tank. So I know that red cherry shrimp up front, she's a female. And I'm pretty sure I've got a male Neocaridina shrimp in here. But because it's not Neocaridina parameters, I have never seen her buried. So I'm thinking that just because they're living in this tank, they're not breeding. So that really goes to show that if you don't have the correct water parameters for these shrimp, they're not going to breed as prolifically as you think they would, because that cherry shrimp's been in here for quite a while, and I know there's at least another male in here. Maybe it's just luck of the draw. She's hiding whenever she molts. So what is your guys' favorite type of shrimp? What kind of shrimp do you like to see? What kind of shrimp do you like to care for? Yeah. Oh, shake a screen. So tell me, what's your favorite shrimp? I've noticed the Neos in this tank are actually growing a lot slower too. So they're all about the same age. And you can see how small those black rows are in the back. They just not getting any bigger because it's Caridina parameters. So I think they need that GH or that KH to really breed and to get bigger. But they seem happy in here. They're not struggling or anything. Oh, looks like we got another golden right up there in the front, a little baby. Galaxy Pentos, yeah. Now what color though? Dobo says they have orange reelies and crystal red shrimp. Yeah, the reelies are really nice. Once I set up my big shrimp room, I'm gonna try to have as many shrimp variations as I can. So I'll definitely have more Neos, more Caradina. I'm excited for it because then I could breed all the shrimp. It's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. Robert says he's trying to breed crystals with blue bolt / blue steels. So what happens when you cross a crystal shrimp and a blue bolt? What do you get out of that? What kind of combination are you trying to go for? There we go. That's a good picture. Once the shrimp kind of create that ball, they don't move the food as much. Watch, they're going to prove me wrong right now. Ghost bees. See, never fails. So sorry if I butcher your name. Mausius says, is there such a thing as bacteria clash when you add shrimp to an existing colony? I added 20 shrimp to an existing neotank, and the new guys started dying after a week. Parameters were same as breeder. So there's a lot of factors that go into why did my shrimp die. So new shrimp, a lot of times what'll happen is either they're older, so when you put them into the new tank, the shock from changing the water parameters just is too much for them and they can't take it. Either they were imports, so they've gone from tank to tank to tank, and now they're finally in your tank, so they're just not good quality and have can't transition very well to the new water. It also depends on how you acclimated the shrimp to the new tank. So I could ask you a few questions and help really determine what might have been the cause. But usually those are the three things: is, just low quality stock, didn't acclimate very well. So it's nothing you did per se. It's just it happens sometimes. And if you're a new shrimp keeper, if you're an advanced shrimp keeper, there's all kinds of factors that can go into this. Blue with red and black markings. Oh, nice. That'll be awesome. Kind of reminds me of the shadow pandas. So Mausius, are they from a local breeder? Do you know if they import shrimp? Do they breed them themselves? Did you drip acclimate them? Did you just dump them in the tank? What kind of steps did you take to make sure that these guys transition to their new tank well? Maybe we'll figure it out. I'm on the case. All right, so I am bored of the coal tank. I don't know about you guys. So what tank do we want to see next? Got the crystal red and black King Kong Extreme and orange eye blue tigers, blue aura and tangerine tigers, or the blue bolts. Drip 2 hours, local breeder with 100 tanks. Okay. And you made sure that the parameters were the same as theirs. So I would maybe drip for a little bit longer. And were they Neo tank? Okay. Do you know, I know it's a random one, but did they look like younger shrimp or did they look like adults? And do you know if he imports a shrimp? Because just because he's a a local breeder doesn't mean that he doesn't have a high turnover rate. And if he has a high turnover rate, he may be importing to offset that demand. Because I know my shrimp guy, he has a lot of tanks and he breeds a lot, but he also imports quite a bit because he can't keep up with the demand. Robert Redmond says orange eye. Sounds good. So we're going to go ahead and pop over to the orange eye blue tiger and black King Kong extreme tank. Now pop some food in there. Oh, you hungry, shrimp? Shrimp, you want some food? I'm going to give you some food, shrimp. That was a big piece. That's too big. You don't need that much food. It's about the same size, but a little smaller. And bloop. Totally missed the shot. That's what our handy dandy tweezers are for. Don't look at my butt. And bloop. Full disclaimer, this tank does not swarm as readily as the rest of them. They're a little bit shy. They don't want to come to the camera. And I will say, I've got some baby orange eye blue tigers in this tank. I'm sure you guys are tired of me talking about it. Oh, you can see my reflection. He does not import, though. Weird. So he said bacterial clash. It makes sense. It could be a possibility, a bacterial clash, because if you have shrimp that are raised in this type of bacteria and then you release them into a new bacteria, think of it like when the Europeans came to the Americas and, smallpox ran rampant through the native culture. They don't have the immunities to combat those issues. So, if shrimp A has so many immunities, shrimp B has so many immunities, they can only fight off so much. So it makes sense. But I will say that neos are hard to figure out. I have tanks that have done absolutely well. I have tanks that just flop and fail. So that's why I broke down all my neo tanks and I went to Caridina, because it seems like they don't have as many issues. When you have an acidic environment like a Caridina tank, I feel like it doesn't have as much of an opportunity to create these negative bacterial cultures, because with that acidic pH, you have more, I want to say more of a clean environment, because with that acid, some bacteria can't live in there, but it also allows for your ammonia to become ammonium. Because if you look at, we're getting real technical chemistry wise. So if you look at ammonia as a molecule, if the pH and temperature is just right, it's not actually ammonia, it's locked up as ammonium. And ammonium isn't toxic to animals as far as like shrimp and fish. So the lower your pH, the lower your temperature, the less dangerous that ammonia is. It's locked as ammonium. So I feel that you have a little bit more room for air with Caridina tank because of that low pH, to where a Neo tank, you have a higher pH, usually around 7 or 8. And with that higher pH, ammonia is more free and readily available instead of the ammonium. And with small creatures like shrimp, they're very sensitive to that ammonia. Told you we're getting real technical. I can tell you some random stuff. I don't know how many hours I've spent researching the pH scale and the pH triangle between KH, GH, pH. I still don't fully understand it without taking some chemistry classes, which I'm not going to do. I don't care that much to know about it. But if you know that you got a low pH, low water temperature, your ammonia is not going to be as readily available. It's going to be locked in that safe ammonium, which is nice to know. So to combat that issue as far as the bacterial clash, what I would suggest is get a bacterial starter. So what I use is Florinbacter by Brightwell Aquatics, and it's going to be hard to get those new shrimp used to that bacteria, but at least that way you know that that bacteria is going to be stable. It's not going to be some random bacteria that just got introduced into the tank. The other thing you can do is set up a tank with possibly some bacteria from your breeder. So if you start a tank that has that same bacteria as your breeder, then you have a higher chance. But it's so hard to say with stuff like that. I know there's breeders out there who will completely sterilize everything every couple of years and start over because the bacteria mutates. It does weird things. I was watching one of Corey's videos from Aquarium Co-op to where he didn't, but one of the guppy breeders that he visited had a large scale operation, and every couple of years they would completely sanitize everything and refeed their bacteria and start over because that bacteria would start to multiply or mutate into something that they didn't want. And you get that bacteria that's not good. I don't know. I'm rambling. Caffeine's kicked in. What's going on, Cooper Aquatics? How are you? Let's go ahead and put our little monocle on here. Get that. Get us a little closer shot of these guys. Meh. Maybe back it up a bit. Nope, that's not working either. I'll figure this out. Don't worry, guys. How's that? That's better. Maybe a little closer. Getting there. That's decent. Not too bad. I'm just going to take it off. It was better without it. Focus. Focus, dang you. My OCD messed it up. I'm sorry, guys. A lot of it has to do with the glare on this tank, too. Let's add some more light. Bring in the big guns. I feel like that helped. Oh, wait, stop right there. There we go. That's better. I need to get a separate webcam, something that I can focus by hand. Excuse me. Yeah, I could sit here and mess with the camera all day. It's the perfectionist in me. It's not good. So I'm not seeing any of the babies coming out yet. So they're not old enough to start free swimming in this tank. They kind of just hang out on the filter, don't really adventure out too much. But I love the blues on those orange eyes. They're just super dark blue. Can't wait till we have a cross to see a cross of these guys and what kind of shrimp come out of it. So if you haven't seen, I currently have a breeding project with this tank. I am crossing my orange eye blue tigers with my black King Kong extremes and hoping to get some interesting things out of it. Spacing out, staring at the shrimp. So who's all in here right now? I know we've got Dobo cleaning the fridge, or not the fridge, cleaning the stove. Cooper Aquatics just jumped in. Got some people popping in and out. I'm noticing that these noon streams, they're not as prolific as my morning streams. So I'm not seeing as many people jump in here as I normally do. Normally in the morning I've got, 10, 11 people, but he got this. But in these afternoon streams, I'm not seeing too much. And usually by the end of the day, I'm not ready to talk to anybody. So I don't like evening streams as far as like a late afternoon or nighttime stream, because usually at that point I'm done talking to people and I just want to chill. So if you catch me in the morning, that's usually when I'll talk your ear off. Amsterdam 21:36. So 24 would be midnight. So what's that? 9:36? 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Something like that. If my math is correct. Yeah, it's 12:37 right now for me. So right at noon. I'd love to visit Amsterdam someday. Good morning, baby. This is my lovely wife, Amber. She's come to join the stream and hang out with us. Anthony's fishy friends. Yo, lurking while working. Hey, that rhymes. Lurking while working. Well, thanks, Anthony, for jumping in and saying something. Definitely appreciate you. Dobo's still here. Yeah, I definitely appreciate all of you guys for jumping in here, hanging out with me, giving me somebody to talk to, because I know the first 4 minutes of the stream I was talking to myself, and I could only do that for so long. So I'm thinking the noon streams are just not the place to be. We got to start streaming earlier. Let's see if I can get the macro lens to work with these guys, because these guys are pretty much staying in place right there. See if I get a clear shot on them. Yeah, there we go. Check that out. That's a lot better. See, that's all we needed. Now we can see those tiger stripes, those bright orange eyes. Pull it back just a bit. There we go. That's better. That's okay. You don't have to get out of bed. I'm not doing anything too exciting down here. I'm really liking those black King Kongs with that diamond on their head. If I can get a blue tiger with a diamond on their head, a little white diamond, that would be cool. Get an orange eye blue tiger with a white diamond. Do you have fall in Arizona? That's one of the what would I say seasons that we do have. We don't really have a winter. We have an extended fall, and then it goes straight into spring and then summer. Yeah, you won't regret it. I absolutely love all my shrimp. They've slowly taken over my house. So I would say that yesterday was really the first day that I actually felt like it was fall. So we went on a little adventure close to midnight, and it was in the high 50s, low 60s outside, so it was pretty chilly for us to where we're used to, 100-degree weather, 80-degree weather. And so it's pretty chilly. Like I'm pretty sure our air conditioner hasn't really kicked on today, and it's probably colder outside than it is in my house right now. Very rare do we have to run the heater. But last night, like I was cold. It's about time to break out my thick blanket. Oh, fish fight. The Oscars are fighting. So I'm definitely grateful. Don't have to shovel snow. Don't have to worry about anything like that. Where are you at, Dobo? Dobo says he's almost at freezing temperatures in the morning. I think I'm going to switch the camera to the Blue Bolt tank because that's the tank I want to see. I'm going to go ahead and drop some food in there so we could check those guys out. We got any babies coming up to the front? Oh, yeah, there is one. It looks white. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that guy. Oh, those little white orange eyes. You see that? The little guy there? He looks completely white with some orange eyes. That's really cool. I've never had orange eye blue tiger shrimp before, so I don't know what their babies look like. Maybe they look white with orange eyes. I got a white orange eye white tigers. It's 71 degrees out. Yeah, I believe it. Dobo said, we get snow maybe once every 2 years. I live near the Adriatic Sea, so the winters are rather mild. That's good. Yeah, I'm not a snow person. So this tank is similar to my crystal tank. We're probably going to see a decent swarm on the food. And of course, I'll move the camera accordingly as they start to come. So where do you live specifically? Dobo says, I love the snow. I wouldn't mind an ice age. Yeah, I can't do that. Not. Oh, I guess I'm built for that weather. I'm kind of built like a seal. I'd do okay. What are you angry about? My fish is attacking the glass. Slovenia near Italy. Okay, cool. It's probably why you said the Adriatic Sea, because I'm not sure if a lot of people know where that is. I definitely don't. I am terrible with geography. You don't want to ask me anything about geography. Like if you told me, where's the Adriatic Sea? Couldn't tell you. Where's Italy? Couldn't tell you. Is it going to go back up to the 90s? Amber said, don't let our 70 degrees fool you. We'll be back in the 90s by this weekend. I had a feeling that it was just a cold front we were getting because I feel like it's too early for it to be this cold. I just want to plant lettuce. Like, can we not have the heat waves? Because every year we get this cold front and I'm like, I could plant lettuce. Yes. And I'll go and plant my lettuce. And it's like, just kidding. We're back in the 90s. And then my lettuce is like, hey, go to seed. And it bolts. And I got to pull it. It's terrible. All right. So I'm not planting lettuce yet. I'd probably plant some kale. Kale does okay. Maybe I'll do that. I'll plant some kale in the aquaponics. Grow our own pig lettuce. Or I could eat the lettuce. I feel like it's a waste though because lettuce is so cheap. Like I could just go to the store and buy lettuce. I want to use that space for something that's. I want to grow some beets. That'd be good. Yeah, so if you look at these blue bolts, you notice that one has that black head. So I'm pretty sure it's got some different genes in it. We're gonna have to pull that out. Yeah, I would. Anthony's fishy friend says his girlfriend's Swiss. He wants to go visit, and I think that'd be cool. You know, go to Holland, Sweden, Germany, someplace like that. I just want to go overseas somewhere. We have Amber says we have fancy pigs. They only eat organic aquaponic grown lettuce. Except they've been eating just normal romaine lettuce that's not even organic lately. They don't seem to mind. Yeah, I wonder what kind of shrimp these got crossed with. Because like I said, you can see that black head. So it's almost like they were crossed with the crystal black. I'm gonna have to get in here and start culling this tank. Switzerland is a very beautiful country. Once I was there in August and it snowed. That's pretty funny. Yeah, in August we're not even thinking about snow. We're thinking about how we're dying because it's 110 outside. Yeah, the only other country I've been to is Mexico, and I was pretty young, so that was a lot of fun though. Definitely not the place you go for small children. Yeah, we went on a cruise to Mexico and had a good time. Yeah, I keep telling myself I need to learn Polish, need to learn German, Mandarin, so that way I can talk to all these really well known shrimp breeders and I could pick their brain. With the US being such a big country, it's we have so many different climates that depending on what state you go to, it's completely different. Because I don't want to say I've been all over the U.S., but I've been quite a few different places. I've been to Louisiana and Texas and Nevada, and each state has its different climate. So like if you go to Texas and Louisiana, it's a little bit warmer. It's very humid, so you're definitely gonna have that humidity to deal with. But it's cool to see all the different places because like Arizona, even though we're right next to California, I feel like our climate here is drastically different. Or California is nice because it's very mild weather. You don't have extreme winters, extreme heat. To where here we have extreme heat but very little winters. Yeah, a lot of those countries overseas, they're itty bitty. And so that's why I think it's cool to have the United States as big as it is, because there's so much going on, so many different um, climates and whatnot, all kinds of different people too. It's almost like our states are their own little countries. Let's see. There's so many shrimp in this tank. I'm gonna pull the macro lens off so you can get a good swarm view. There we go. They just seem so, what's the word, overexposed because of how white they are. This whole image just looks super overexposed. Yeah, now that I got quite a few shrimp in this tank, I think I'm going to start culling it out and moving some of those guys over to the coal tank. Dobo says, what I love about North America is that it still has some wilderness. Europe practically has none. Amber says, Slovenia is about the size of New Jersey, which is one of those smaller states. Yeah, it's the unfortunate thing about us as society. We tend to overtake nature, which I'm sure it won't be long before we're completely out of nature. But a lot of our states have wildlife preserves, and we have the like reservations. So like here in Arizona, we have the Indian reservations to where it's just desert. It's desert for a long ways, and you can see like for a long way without any buildings. So just start walking and you'll find a road. Yeah, it's cool to be able to drive and go visit the nature. Anthony's fishy friend says driving to another country is like driving to another state here. And that's what I was saying. I feel like our states are like their own little mini countries. Even though we're part of the United States, it's each state is so different too with its laws. Like our laws are very similar, but a lot of states have different laws. And North America is just, it's a big continent. Because even Mexico and Canada, there's a lot of underdeveloped areas there. Well, hello, Daisy, my scruffy little dog. How are you? You going to eat some breakfast? Oh, she's thirsty. She's going to get some water. Amber says, our new house is currently being built. Backups to the open desert. We will have all kinds of critters. Hi, Sadie. Hi, baby. Good morning. Nice of you to join us. Dobo says he can go from one side of the country to the complete opposite in less than an hour drive. Debbie. What's up, Dabs? What's going on, buddy? Chris Heller, a.k.a. Sir Dabs Lot, says, she's a critter. You're a critter, Dabs. Yeah. It's like the herpes. Just can't get rid of it. Oh, you can't say that. Can't say that on stream. Yeah, I feel like COVID changed a lot of stuff. Dobo said in some places there isn't any border. With COVID, everything got stricter. Daisy, shut up. Chris said, some of us have to work. Not me. Not today. Today is a work-free day. I get to stream, hang out, do nothing. Except I do have a lot of stuff to do. I got to record a video. What else I got to do? Go to the new house, check that out. All kinds of stuff. Working hard watching YouTube. All right, so we are going to stream for just a little bit longer, and then I am going to call it. So let's do this. I'm going to switch tanks. We'll go to the Tangerine Tiger and Aura Blue because the babies are getting bigger and getting more adventurous. So I have a feeling that if I show you guys this tank, we're going to see a bunch of those Tangerine Tiger babies as I poke one in the head. Where's the food at? Where'd it go? There it goes. And that fell into the bushes. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Don't mind me. Just talking to myself. We're going to slap that macro lens on there. Wah-bam. I'm going to get some close-up shots. Look at that food. Doesn't that look delicious? Anthony's Fishy Friends got to run. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for the stream. We will catch you later, Anthony. Thanks for popping in. Definitely appreciate it. Any shrimp-related fall activities that you could do in your area, Dobo says. I know a lot of people will go out and, searching for like alder cones and oak leaves and all kinds of stuff like that. We don't really have trees. So there's not a whole lot of stuff that I can do that's shrimp related out here, short of going out into the desert and looking for cholla wood. And I need to clean this glass. There's a lot of algae on there. I need to go buy some new sponges. Some shrimp sponges. Seeing that shrimp come from the backside was funny. It was coming out of focus. Yeah, there is quite a bit of algae on this tank. I'll have to make sure to clean that before my next stream. Oh, shrimp fight. These guys are so cool looking. Just having the orange and the blue. Completely contrasting colors. There we go. There's a little baby. There's two of them. And that's what I was saying. With this tank, there's tons of babies in this tank. So now they're starting to, free roam. They're not so scared. Moringa would grow, yeah. I have one of my friends. He actually grows moringa in his backyard. So I'm hoping when we get the new place, I can plant some stuff like that, and we'll be able to have our own, mulberry trees and moringa leaves and all kinds of stuff. Could you not? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Stop your barking. Come here. Come. I don't want your toy. I was talking to Grant Eater, another shrimp breeder here in the States, and he was telling me that when these blue aura shrimp mix with the tangerines, the babies actually look like tangerine tigers. So the first generation, those F1s, it's kind of hard to determine whether or not you had a successful cross. You just got to keep going generation wise until you start seeing those green colors. Oh, that's a big baby there. Look at the size of that one. That was decent sized. Yeah, look at the size of those guys. Let's do this. Pull this off. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Oh, shush. Focus, dang you. There we go. That's not too bad. But now you can see all the little babies swimming around in there. No spending money. No. Depending on what kind of dog you get, you may not have to really groom them, because we have a long-haired terrier, and she actually sheds less than our big dog. So some of those short-haired dogs will actually shed more than the long hairs. So just depending on what you get, like if you get like a Maltese or a poodle or something, of course you're going to have to take it in and get it groomed. But for the most part, those long hairs aren't too bad. Can we just focus here? I don't know why this is always such a struggle. Like when I record videos, it's fine, but on stream, it's ridiculous. They do. The Aura Blues are one of my favorites. But you don't like them. That's okay. Yeah, there's tons of babies in this tank now. I'm super excited for this because I started out with Neocaridina and I had babies and they're doing well, but I couldn't get them going. Like I just could not breed them very well. But for Caridina, like it's no problem. Like I'm killing it with the Caridina. I'm very grateful for everyone's help as far as, the YouTube community, the Facebook community. Everybody is so nice and helpful for getting me started and helping me to learn everything I have. I've been doing this for, has it been 2 years? I know it's been at least a year as far as shrimp keeping, but definitely learned a lot in the last 2 years. Dobo says, "Still good boys, but not a breed I don't." That's what's nice about shrimp is there's all kinds of different colors and flavors, and you do you. You pick what you like, and oh, I don't like pit bulls. Gotcha. Pits are some of the nicest dogs you'll ever have. They're super super sweet dogs, and they've got such a bad rap. It's so sad. They're like nanny dogs. If you have kids, they love kids. They'll just hang out and protect the kids. And it's all about how, like any dog, it's all about how you raise them. If you treat them right and train them and give them enough energy, they're good. Yeah, they're definitely not a beginner breed because they do require a lot of attention and a lot of training. We were lucky, and I actually got our pit Sadie when I wasn't working. So I had a lot of free time to train her and make sure that I raised her right and had the discipline because they're a strong breed. They're very muscular. So if you're not able to control them, they can, become unruly. I'm not saying aggressive, but they can hurt people because of their weight and size. It's like if you had a 400-pound toddler, like trying to control that 400-pound toddler would be difficult. So I've been thinking about, Dobo asked, what kind of shrimp are you thinking about getting next? I've been looking at the red fancy tigers. But of course, all the popular ones that everybody likes right now, the boas and the pintos and the galaxies and the fancy tigers and all of those newer breeds that have come to light in the last couple of years. But I want all of them. So, like Pokemon, I got to catch them all. I want to have as many different varieties that I can because I enjoy them. You'll listen to me on the stream. I'll be like, "Oh, these are my favorite, and these are my favorite," and I say it about every tank, and it's because I just like them so much. There's not one shrimp that I'm not like, "Oh yeah, I don't like that shrimp. I'm not going to keep that kind." And it's I like them all. I like all the different patterns, all the different colors, and they're all different. I feel like they have different personalities too, to where like my crystal reds and my crystal blacks, I feel like they're like the mutts of the shrimp world, just super like hardy and don't give a crap about anything. They're very prolific in breeding and so I feel like they're just like, yeah, I can live wherever, whatever you want to do, I'll do whatever. And then you have these tigers, the tangerines and the aura blues, and they're the same way. They remind me of rabbits. They're just super prolific. Like if you look, there's 4 or 5 females in there that are buried. They'll they'll lay their eggs and then be buried the next day. Like they'll hatch their eggs and be buried. So each type of shrimp is completely different. My black king kongs and orange eye blue tigers, they hide. If I don't feed that tank, you would think there was never any shrimp in there. They're never out. They're never looking around at stuff, like swimming around. They're always in the moss, on the filter, under stuff. Until I feed that tank, I don't see them. So it's cool to see that how these different colors and different varieties have different personalities. Even though they're all the same shrimp, they just do different things in how they do. Just catching up on chat. Dobo asks, what about Calcio shrimp? Yeah, the Calcios are very, very cool looking. I like the dragon bloods. Yeah, I'm not a discriminator when it comes to shrimp. Like I said, I would like to have them all and the different varieties. If I was to say that there's a shrimp that I don't care for or don't want to keep, I would have to say any of the shrimp that need to be wild caught or don't breed in captivity or are a little bit more difficult to breed in captivity, like the Amano shrimp, vampire shrimp, bamboo shrimp, any of those larval stage breeders that are a little bit more difficult to breed. I may keep them one day, but I like the swarms. I like seeing the tons of babies and the tons of shrimp. And opaule, I may get those someday, but I'm not a fan of some of those more difficult shrimp to keep. Like, they're awesome and they would be cool in a community tank, but I want the prolific shrimp. I want to be able to breed thousands of these guys. And maybe that's just me thinking monetarily and wanting to grow my business. But I want to be able to breed a bunch of shrimp so that way I have tons of shrimp to get rid of. And, as time goes on, if I get better at selling shrimp and breeding shrimp, then maybe I'll branch out into some of those more difficult ones. And I'm still learning. There's so much in the community. And I feel like in the States and online, it's hard to find information about these guys because some of the breeders are very well kept on their secrets and not wanting to share all the info. And so the trickle down to the States as far as the info is very limited. I feel like some of the European countries and overseas, they have a lot more info given to them. They have a lot more experience in it because they've been doing this for so long, to where, in the States, we're new to shrimp keeping. It's not something that we've really had for the last 100 years. It's maybe the last 20, I feel like. And even then, it was a small community that's gotten bigger. So I'm excited to be a part of the, the States and the North American shrimp craze as it grows, as it gets bigger, because I see this industry getting bigger. I see it taking over because, just like myself, you're going to be on Facebook, you're going to be on YouTube, and somebody's going to post a picture of like the Aura Blues, like these guys. And they're going to be like, wow, those are amazing. Those are cool shrimp. How do you get those? How do I have those shrimp? How can I do that? And that's it. That's all it takes. It's just that, that little bug, that little itch, like, I want those shrimp. And that's going to lead to Neocaridina, because Neocaridina are easier to keep. People are going to do that. They're going to succeed at that. And then they're going to be like, all right, I'm ready for Caridina. So I'm excited to be a part of the shrimp community and excited to, be in this industry. I talk like I'm already in it, but I'm breeding shrimp. I don't have a business page. I'm not selling them besides locally, but I'm part of the industry. I'm part of this growth, this movement of shrimp keeping, and I'm excited for it. The shrimp movement. Yes, exactly. And you could tell just by how I started rambling that I'm passionate about it. And I am one of those people that when I get into something, I jump full force into it. I don't half-ass anything. But on that tangent, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Dobo, thank you so much for being a big part of this stream today, and asking me questions and being a part of it and just keeping me talking, because it's without you guys, without you here to talk to me, I'm just sitting here rambling and trying to think of things to say, and that's a little awkward. I get a little self-conscious. I'm like, nobody's here, nobody's talking to me. Am I awful? Am I terrible? And of course, it starts to spiral. So thank you so much for entertaining me and everybody else, and thanks for being a part of it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch you next time.